See, most people trying to lose fat are doing way too much of the wrong thing. It's not your willpower, and it's certainly not your genetics. It's your mindset and your method. And let me simplify both before you burn out chasing bad advice. Starting with topic number 1, which is the difference between weight loss and fat loss. I need you to understand that they are not the same. You can absolutely lose weight and still be fat. And you can lose body fat without technically losing weight. That is because when you're talking about weight, you're talking about more than just fat. You're talking about muscle, water, and the food that's already in your gut. Fat in and of itself is just a portion of that weight. And if you want to lose that fat, you have to be intentional, while weight loss can be done completely passive. And you watching this video don't just want to be lighter, you want to be leaner. I personally used to struggle with this. I used to be over 230 pounds. That's the heaviest I've ever been. I hated the way I looked with my shirt off. I felt sluggish and I moved slow. So I did what everyone tells you to do. I started running, lifting, eating less, and despite all my effort, I was still fat. That is because I bought into this old saying, which is eat less, move more. While that saying is not completely wrong, it's still incomplete. It doesn't paint the whole picture. It leaves out the real driver for fat loss, which is your metabolism. And it wasn't until when I stopped chasing fad diets and cookie cutter plans, that's when everything changed. That's when I started seeing results, and that's how I lost over 40 freaking pounds. And I didn't just lose it, I kept it off without burning out or starving myself. And I know you think you know what your metabolism is, but I'm gonna tell you what it actually is. Because most people just throw the word around without knowing how it actually works. Starting with, your metabolism isn't just how fast you can burn calories. It's every process your body uses to keep you alive. And that includes things like breathing and digesting foods, keeping your organs running. Think of your metabolism kind of like your body's engine. The more efficient and powerful it is, the more fat you can burn without even working out. Now, it's this part about the metabolism that tripped me up, and it's what's messing a lot of you guys up. And it's when people eat too little or they overtrain without proper rest and recovery. When that happens, your body starts to freak out, and it'll actually slow down your metabolism as a way to conserve energy. And when that happens, that actually means you're burning less calories even though you feel like you're working harder, which is what's going to cause you to feel tired, frustrated, and cause you to stop seeing results. But the thing about your metabolism is that it loves consistency, not starving yourself, and certainly not endless cardio. And if you want to boost your metabolism, you're going to need the 3 non-negotiables. That is to eat enough protein, strength train, and quality sleep and recovery. The protein is what's going to help you preserve muscle and boost your resting metabolism. And the strength training is what's going to help you build lean tissue, keeping your engine revving. And quality sleep and recovery is important because if your body is stressed out and under-recovered, your hormones will go out of whack, making it that much harder for you to lose fat. Now, there is a million ways to go about these 3, but I'm going to show you what works for me, and then maybe you can pick something up and finally find something that clicks. Starting with protein. The amount of protein that you need is either dependent on your current body weight or your goal body weight. And whichever weight you're going off of, the simple rule of thumb is you want to go 80% of that number. So if I'm 230 pounds, I'm trying to get 180 grams of protein in daily. But let's say I'm trying to get down to 200 pounds. Now I'm trying to get about 160 in daily. This is important because your body needs protein in order to build lean muscle and recover, especially if you're strength training like you should be. And I know what you're going to say, 150 to 180 grams of protein every single day sounds insane. And if you've never tracked like this before, it can feel overwhelming, which is why I created a simple coaching program to make this easier for you. So if you click the pinned comment, you can sign up for my personalized monthly coaching. Right now, you can start for as little as $1 a day. No strings attached, no contract, and you can cancel anytime. And from what I've seen, the average client that I've worked with learns everything about nutrition and how to properly fuel their body towards their goals in just 4 days. And now that brings us to strength training. And this is where most people mess up, but here's the truth. You actually don't burn fat in the gym. You actually build muscle there so you can burn fat all day long. Strength training gives your metabolism a reason to stay active. Muscle, if you didn't know, is expensive for your body to maintain. The more you have, naturally, the more you burn at rest. But let's be real, the gym is packed with a bunch of people who lift weights but are still fat. So what is the disconnect? Why isn't everyone that's lifting weights in good shape? It's not just nutrition, but that's part of it. It is because people still believe that fat loss is 80% nutrition and only 20% working out. And that's an outdated phrase that's really just meant to tell you that you cannot out-train a bad diet. But even if your nutrition is on point, training is still twice as important as you realize. I'd argue it's closer to 60% nutrition and 40% training, especially if you want to look lean and strong and not just be skinny. And that 40% isn't just showing up and moving weight around. It's about training with intent. And the number one method that changed everything for me is what's called progressive overload. Progressive overload is the simple idea that your body adapts. So if you want to build muscle and boost your metabolism, you have to keep challenging it. That means increasing your weight, set, or reps, or even reducing the amount of rest you allow yourself over the week. Now, this doesn't have to be extreme, but it does have to be consistent. So if you bench 135 for 3 sets of 10 for the next 6 months, you're not giving your body a reason to grow. Muscle is your body's response to stress. So it's your responsibility to create enough tension to stimulate change. And when you do that over time, you build more muscle. And that muscle becomes a metabolic multiplier that helps you burn calories around the clock. And that is how I actually got lean, not doing hours worth of cardio. But instead, I focused on lifting heavy and progressively overloading, giving my body a reason to change over time. Now look, training hard and eating right are both crucial, but there's one more piece that many people sleep on, literally, and that is recovery. That is because even if your workouts are dialed in and nutrition is on point, if your body is constantly stressed, tired, and under-recovered, you're not going to lose fat the way that you should. And that is where a lot of high achievers mess up. You think more is better. More workouts, more grinding, less sleep. But when it comes to fat loss, your hormones run the show. And if they're out of whack, your metabolism is gonna hit the brakes. Now brace yourself, because this is the least sexiest part about fat loss. But it's one of the most important, because an overly stressed body is gonna cause your fat burning hormones to tank. And as a result, your fat storing hormones are gonna spike. And that is a losing combo. When you're sleep deprived, your body's gonna produce something called cortisol, which is a stress hormone. And too much of that releasing is gonna signal to your body to hold on to more fat. Literally, stressing yourself out can make you fat. And if you're a man, you know we hold that fat first things first in the stomach area. And that's not even the worst part. Your hunger hormones are gonna go out of whack, making you think you're hungry when you're really not, causing you to eat more, storing more fat. And this isn't just about your sleep, it's about your overall recovery. Because if you're training 6 to 7 days a week, barely eating enough, and not giving your body the chance it needs to recharge, your metabolism is going to purposely slow itself down in order to protect you. Because remember, your metabolism's main goal is to simply keep you alive. It'll purposely go into what we call survival mode. But when you prioritize deep sleep, rest days, and hydration, or even stress management, your body will begin to feel safe again. Your hormones will stabilize, and fat loss will become that much easier, even without changing your workouts. Remember that recovery is a fat loss strategy, not just an afterthought. All right, to wrap it up, remember, it's not your willpower, it's your method. And today I give you 3 keys that changed everything for me. Protein to fuel your body and preserve muscle, strength training with progressive overload to boost metabolism, and recovery because fat loss doesn't happen if your hormones are out of whack. Put those 3 together and your metabolism stops fighting you and starts working for you. If you found this video to be helpful, be sure to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more content just like this that we can do a deeper dive in. And if you're someone who needs personalized help on simplifying your nutrition, be sure to click the pinned comment and sign up for my nutrition training program, and then you can get started for just as little as $1 a day. No contract, cancel anytime. I'll help you cut through the noise and get results without guessing. I'll see you on the next one.